All right, good morning, everybody. We're doing the thing again because we're crazy like that. So we are getting geared up again since, we crashed into a hangar and died. And of course, none of the gear, even though we crashed in an armistice zone, none of the gear is recoverable at our spawn location, which is where that stuff's supposed to go. So I'm totally surprised, let me tell you. Another set of gear down. Doesn't matter. All right. Okay. Where's the grenades I just bought? I just bought grenades. Where are they? Come on. Grenades. Buy. Okay. Okay, weird. I bought a stack a minute ago and there just aren't any in my inventory. I mean, there weren't. That's very strange. Very strange. All right, we got sustenance. We got mags. We don't have med pens yet. Okay, we're set to go. That's a bar. I mean, although, maybe it might be a good idea to have a drink when starting a session. Good morning, Glitch. How you doing, man? Just barely awake. Can't complain yet, so that's a good sign, right? I was just getting wound up with notifications and stuff, and I saw that I'm not the only one that is concerned about the Tier 0 and even later implementations of item recovery. I do not know what to think about CIG. It wore us out. It was okay otherwise, but it did kind of wear us out. Don't get out and about moving around nearly as much as we both need to, but especially her. And it shows every time I do manage to get her out of the house. Vulture. Claim.
Your insurance claim has been sent.
All right, you know what? We're gonna take the fortune again.
Your vehicle has been
How you doing, Osgood? I don't think they'll change NPC gear. That would be beyond bad. I don't think that they'll change NPC gear though. I think it's just gonna be player gear. It's one of these things where CIG has this creative idea on how to do it, and it's almost like they think, what is the worst possible way we can put this together? I mean, I want item recovery. What I do not want is for them to destroy PvP looting, and I definitely don't want them to destroy the economy, right? And here we have crafting coming, right? And now all of a sudden, essentially, as long as you're willing to make the claim on the gear, you can't lose gear. And I'm talking about even tier 2, right? Now, I know wear and tear is going to be a thing, but is it going to be, or is wear and tear actually going to cause gear to be destroyed? Or if you maintain it, is it going to last forever? Right? I'm betting the latter, that as long as you maintain it periodically, it doesn't get destroyed, which means if nobody can steal your gear either. Now, if there's an overhead, if there's a cost to claiming that gear, to recovering it, then some of it will get left behind, right? Because they won't claim it. Some of it you'll even be able to keep if you're the guy stealing it, because if they don't claim it, it doesn't become unusable. At least that's the way it sounds. But a lot of people, they're just going to claim it because they've got their set of gear. Oh, hey, look, I got my look going. I got my gear. This is what I want to use every day. They're just going to claim it, and they're going to go to their freaking hangar where they have to go to spawn a ship anyway, and they're going to go to their freaking freight elevator, and they're going to pick their gear back up and put it back on. I don't know what they're thinking. The notion of a full loot PvP enabled game, right? I fully acknowledge it's not a PvP dominant game. People are going to play PvE. Most people. But they're diminishing the stuff that makes Star Citizen special. And to make matters worse, now if I go and I take the Pisces medical, right, or the Terrapin medical, or the Nursa, and set my med bed, at least for tier 0, right, we go to a bunker, we charge in, we kill them until we get downed, we backspace, we're back in the Nursa, fully equipped, we just charge right into the bunker again and finish them off. I mean, granted, most FPS targets are being killed with hover turret and Connies anyway, but the guys that are going to do it on the ground, there's not even any risk of loss now with the tier 0s coming, the tier 0 item recovery coming. It hurts me. I don't know what they think they're doing. I really don't. It's just concerning. Man, good morning, Hop Kebab. Well, you know what? There's definitely better ways that they could have implemented preventing duping or selling FPS gear, right? I would be totally okay with the deductible being fairly high, right? So you're essentially buying the gear, right? But it's your gear. You know what I mean? Whatever. And if it's something that is a store-bought item, then skin it in such a way that they don't get the store skin version. Even though, to be honest, I'd be disappointed with that. It's just that you're already creating a lore situation where insurance is a thing, right? So if I die and I have covered my gear with insurance, I get to replace it. So who cares if the pirate that killed me gets to loot my stuff? He earned it. You know, that's my thought process on it. Yes, sure, I can, I guess say, yo, dude, come shoot me over here in the hangar and loot my corpse. I'll sell you my gear and then claim it. Insurance fraud. All right. So put a timer on the claim time. If you can only reclaim an item once every 24 hours, if you claim every 24 hours 3 times in a row, then it bumps up. It's once every 72 hours. It's once every week. You know what I mean? There's certainly things that they could have done to mitigate the, oh my God, somebody's going to get a copy of a weapon that I bought in the store. This proposed solution, to me, is worst case scenario. It diminishes the value of the loot and makes it impossible to do, even with the diminished value. I just don't think.
Exit protocols initiated.
I don't think they are really thinking it through. Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm sure you'll be able to sell it. That'll be different from looting. But if I go and buy a full set of upgraded gear, right? Because eventually we're going to have tier 2, tier 3 gear or whatever, right? I think it's tier 5 ships, tier 3 FPS gear. So once I'm tier 3'd out and I've got all the modifiers, the attachments and stuff that I want on it, right? I don't need to buy anything else. I'm set. How's that going to work for the economy? Where's the freaking money sink? Right? Because, I mean, at least you're going to need to pay to reclaim the gear, even if you... I think it's the worst possible implementation. You know? Maybe it'll change some over time, but I do. Right now, I feel it's the worst possible implementation. The economy is a scam. Yeah, well, you ain't wrong. All right, I need 40 more or 30 something more construction material, and then I got to go pick up the supplies at the materials at Grimhex and bring them back here somewhere to turn them in. Do we have unverified? We don't even have unverified. It's weird to me that the salvage opportunities are more expensive in Pyro. You think we can salvage a Retaliator? I'm just looking for a quick out right now. We'll go ahead and pick up the core. It's the perfect CIG solution, half-assed, zero thought. I'm inclined to agree. Right? It is exactly the kind of thing they normally do. And I am intensely disappointed. And it's not just me. And I know that there are people who are like, yes, item recovery at all costs, yay, hooray, I'm tired of losing my gear. And I feel you, bros, because I just lost my last set of white Iceborne Orc Mark 10 armor and Paladin helmet yesterday. I had 4 sets when 402 dropped. All 4 are gone now. Right? So I totally get the item recovery thing. I do. Right, I can go buy replacement armor, but the helmets, I have to go and either find them in a loot box or I got to go melt them and rebuy them. And 2 of them are sub helmets that I can't just go rebuy anyway. Right, so I feel you, but this is the worst possible implementation. And it's all soon TM. Anyway, 4.1 is coming when? Sometime next year. Maybe not, but you know what I mean? So for us to get to tier 2, which is their final implementation, which is better than tier 0, but is still bad, we're years away from it. Meanwhile, you can no longer board ships that are anywhere near an armistice zone, right? You get teleported out, right? Because they couldn't resolve any actual security issues, even though we were supposed to get a permission system for ships years ago. Right? They mentioned it to us in like 21, 22 maybe, but I think it was at 21. We're talking about your captain will be able to choose your role and give security permissions for blah, 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 coming soon to you in Star Citizen when you've got a real game. and we're good to go and stuff works. Be excited, buy some ships, right? And we've got no sign of that whatsoever. So instead, what do? Well, you know, if you're in an armistice zone, boop, you're teleported out magically, because that's immersive. And then we're piling on with this really awful fucking broken item recovery loot system that they're going to bring in. The direction the game is going is so fucking dumbed down. I have no idea what we're actually going to get. I just don't know what to think anymore. And I know I keep saying that a lot now. Anyway, you're doing the wrong button there, dude. I'm baffled. I really am. I don't understand how we can be talking about the same vision that Chris Roberts shared with us years ago. Star Citizen physics. I didn't do the auto thing yet. I forgot to push the buttons. You know, I'm a little disappointed that the quarry was diddly shit for salvage there. I know I could have gotten RMC out of it too, but I'm actually confused. Which one is lit up? Was it already lit up from the last time, or no? I guess we'll wait and see. I thought that since I retrieved the ship, I'd have to push the button again, but maybe not, since it would have been pushed from before. What I think is I just turned the one off and on the left side. And then on the right side, I didn't touch it. And it still looks like it's got the indicator on. I think the right side is not set to auto yet. But the left side probably is because of that display issue. But we'll see. Oh, man. I'm beginning to feel like we're going to see an increasing number of people who are going to be private servers win, right? Because that was an early promise that, frankly, I don't think we're ever going to see. But the people who want the private servers are the ones that are going to want the old school full loot PvP version rule set. And now the PvE bobs I shouldn't use a derogatory term, but the people, the softcore PvE people who don't want to lose anything and they just want to grind their game without people shooting at them and bothering them in any way. The easy mode players, the farm build players, right? They're the ones that are going to be settled into this mainstream version of the game that's just so fucking boring and vanilla. I don't know what to say, man. Once upon a time, I would have thought it would have been the other group. You know, the softies going, I want my private server so that there's no PvP ever. And here's CIG dismantling everything that makes the game original. Meanwhile, of course, propping up this public event that's, go get some data trade, right? Go to the depots, PvP. Dude, freaking Jumptown 3.0 in Pyro. Do the data train, do the Pyro PvP. And it's like, meanwhile, you're fucking wrecking any notion of in-depth PvP. And just imagine when, right now, we see everybody running around, right? There's the naked guys all in the hallway dead. Here's the guys running around in the sperm suit, don't even have a gun, right? All they're going to do is run up and middle mouse click you, right? Hoo-yah! Middle mouse click, yeah! Except part of the reason that those people are running around naked in white sperm suits is they don't want to have to be bothered about recovering gear. Well, you know, tier 0 implementation of item recovery, you don't have to worry about recovering gear. You gear up, you go do whatever it is that you want to do, and you don't lose anything ever. You respawn, and you're still in your full gear. So maybe we'll at least see fewer naked white people running around in the fucking game, right? Maybe that's the immersion that Chris Roberts is after. He's tired of seeing that guy in the hospital gown. I don't fucking know, man. And I know I can hear Greasy Khaleesi going, no, I'm going to run around in the undersuit and a helmet anyway because I want to be fast as fuck, boys. Because I need to middle mouse click meta you and steal your shit. Except, of course, I can't steal your shit anymore, so instead, I'll just murder you gleefully. I'm actually surprised I didn't see a post from Greasy and company about this yet. Whatever, man. What's up, killer? Well, I mean, did you read the whole thing? Because, I mean, the tier 0 is terrible. It is a Band-Aid, but it's awful as fuck. It's awful. The teleporting people up the ships is also placeholder, right? Eventually, we're going to get ship permissions, and people will have to oust you in your ship. Whatever, right? So it is. But the tier 1 and the tier 2 versions that they're talking about are still bad. Maybe so, right? I'm sure there are some positive reasons that they're looking to do some of this stuff, but I cannot abide their implementation. It's so bad. Yeah. I don't know, man. It's just, they don't really seem to be considering the ramifications. I mean, long term, if we want an actual player-driven economy, that means periodically people have to lose stuff, or they have to replace stuff, right? Or at least upgrade stuff. And dismantling PvP looting, even in a temporary measure, to me, is fucking terrible. And what are they doing? They're essentially sacrificing gameplay, right, for the sake of worrying about some kind of exploit. And, you know, I want to be glad that they're seriously considering the ramifications of exploits and stuff before making changes. But you're basically saying we don't want you to exploit duping items you wouldn't normally be able to get a hold of at the cost of letting you exploit item loss being not a thing, right? Like I said, because I mean, right now, just imagine you're boarding your PvP crew boarding a Polaris, right? Boarding that Polaris, you're trying to eliminate the crew. You're coming in through the entrances. You're blasting Polaris guys. You're downing Polaris guys. They're respawning in the med bay, right? Current game build, they've got to gear up. New game build, they pop up out of the med bed fully geared and they charge down the hallway. Guns blazing. That's trash gameplay. And, you know, it's not like it's just the defenders either, because the Polaris crew is boarded with, you know, a Terrapin or a Cuddy Red or a ship with an Ursa medical in it, or, you know, they've got a Polaris of their own. So it's just a never-ending battle unless somebody manages to get into the med bay area and spawn camp them until they give up. But see, that's the thing, Killer, is while that idea would be, I think, an okay alternative for Tier 0, they're not willing to do the work for that because that's not how they want it to work in the long run. It's going to be bad. Well, Lions, I mean, that's kind of what I was saying, right? It's like, okay, so you kill somebody and you loot them and you steal their shit, and instead of it being all the fancy store skins, it's the base model armor equivalent. That said, I actually don't even like that. I think that if I kill somebody who's wearing the fancy store gear, I should be able to steal their shit. That's part of the reward. Oh, that guy's got those paladin helmets that I like. I'm going to shoot him and take his helmet. Right? Nope. Nope. Yeah, whatever. You spawn without ammo, right? Yeah, okay. And that will be their initial response. Okay, whatever. Great. I run into the hallway shooting, blasting until dead, and then I go after the middle mouse click. And if they beat me and knock me down, I pop back up with the gun again, and guess what? The gun's got ammo again. I guarantee you the gun won't be empty. I just don't buy it. It's bad. It's bad. Okay, we are loading both sides, so I was wrong. All right. Good deal. I don't know, man. It's just, this is not the game that we talked about in 2012, 2013, 2014 when I finally decided to back. This isn't it. Full loot was part of the description. They should do it the right way, right? The right way is I go to some screen, right? I go, okay, insurance, boop. I check my gear and I go, okay, I'm going to pay the premium for this stuff to be covered, right? Check. And then I die, right? And my corpse is laying there with all the gear on it because that's the way shit works. You die, your shit's on your body. So what do? You go to the insurance terminal or wherever it is that you're going to claim it, and you go, okay, I'm going to claim this stuff that I had insured, and you're going to pay whatever the deductible is for your bullshit Tier 3 insurance versus the premium Tier 1 insurance, and get your gear back. Right? That's the way you do it. And if you feel like somebody's going to abuse that by constantly claiming their shit, then put a fucking cooldown on it, right? Put a cooldown on it, and maybe if you would still want to make sure you don't inconvenience the player, say, okay, you got an extra 24-hour cooldown because you've claimed this gear once already today. You want to speed it up, you have to pay an added deductible. That's how you balance that out so that it becomes more expensive to claim the gear than it would be to just spend the time to go and shop and buy it again. And as far as the store-bought gear goes, CIG has told us repeatedly over the years that anything that you can buy in the store, you're supposed to be able to earn in-game. So to be honest, the store-bought stuff, irrelevant. 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 I don't care. It's just, like I said, their suggestion is the worst possible fucking implementation. It's bad. It's bad for the game. It's bad gameplay. It ruins immersion. I mean, here's the body laying there and you can't loot it. I don't know about you guys, but playing any MMO, if I fight somebody and it's got a particular weapon or armor or whatever, and I kill him and I get some other random bullshit, I hate that. I fucking hate that. Back in the day, what was the D&D game? Was it Baldur's Gate 2? Was it BG2? I don't remember which title it was, but where we could build our own custom dungeons and we wrote scripts and stuff. I created a lootable corpses script, right? That everybody used for a while, where the body would die, and if it had weapons and shields in its hands, it would randomly drop those on the ground next to them. It was a whole thing, because all the game had was a loot bag. You'd kill somebody and their body would disappear and a loot bag would respawn. So I created a lootable corpse script that made the corpse made a loot bag that looked like the corpse, the gear that was on it, drop the weapons, because that's the way that shit should be. Yes, they could even sell gear slot insurance, right? And they could, not only that, they can sell gear slots, right? New World has that. I maxed out on them. Let's give me all the gear slots. Hell yes, I want preloads, right? I want to set up a arranged set of gear. I'll pay for insurance on that. Sure. Yeah. There's my mining gear. There's my salvage gear. There's my FPS gear. There's my pilot gear. There's my general Galter being crazy gear that's middle of the road. You know what I mean? Sure, I'll pay for insurance on all of that because earning credits is easy. Instead, hey, let's make it impossible to loot bodies for a year or two while we're going from tier 0 to tier 1. I'd like to believe that it'll be quicker, right? That they'll get tier 0 out in 4.1, and in 4.1.1, it'll be, okay, here's tier 1. It's better now. But I don't believe it. I'll believe that when I see it. A prowler. Expected rants, not unexpected. I just, man. Like I was saying, I wanted item recovery. I've wanted item recovery for a long time. What I didn't want was them to implement it in this god-awful way. Got paints. Good deal. Glad to hear it. We're back in the fortune today. Yeah, my tier 0 would have been that, like I said, that your gear, you register your gear in some way, and then you just pay for it. You just go to a terminal and you buy it all right there, right? It's like I don't have to go shop for it. I don't have to fuss with getting it replaced. I don't have to wonder, can I get a copy of that? Nope, I just go pay at the terminal and buy the stuff that I have registered. That's it. That's the way I would do it. That would be my tier 0. Yeah, I don't care that I lost my gear. I care that I lost it because I fell into a planet. Yes. Yes. That right there. Please fix. Oh, man. Happy you're finding the Nighthawk. Those are the purple ones, right? Nice. Coda's a cool pistol. I used to carry them all the time. I haven't carried one in a while. I got settled into the S38 because IMI. But I do like the Coda. All right. Okay, now, you know, if I do the thing here, right, I can move this over here and then get optimal placement. Oh, and I wanted to see the emitters. Where are the emitters? Ah, I see, okay. I can't hardly see that number. 7%, 8%, 4%. We're too close now. Just trying to get my little 10% yield. I saw the screenshot. I liked your X post. It's always good when they fix stuff and make it work. I feel like it just disintegrated me. What am I doing? I'm trying to figure out what order I need to be doing stuff in to push the buttons and get what I want done. That's 11%. All right. Okay. I kind of agree there too. If you go to a lawless system, right? There should be some kind of a location, satellite, something, right? There should be something that says, okay, if you want this registered as something that could be stolen, right? You can't be within the range of that, or you either have to go to a system and register at that or not. Because if you're not in a UEE system, it shouldn't just automatically be a thing. Right? To be honest, I am kind of opposed to the whole notion of shit automatically being labeled as stolen regardless. I don't much care for it. I think that's an extra thing you should have to set somehow, but whatever. Right. How many times have I said How many times have I said, I hope they at least loot my corpse, right? That one guy looted my corpse and stole a set of the white armor that I lost to the hangar yesterday. And I was like, yes, at least I died for a reason. I got looted. I mean, that's half the reason that I carry all that shit in my backpack. Is it's like, because if somebody kills me, at least they get something out of it. Right? Oh, man. Well, I mean, you know, I think about Judge Dredd, right? And nobody can even fire Dredd's weapon unless, right? And, you know, there's Blade's sword from the movie where he's flipping the switch, and if you don't flip the switch, it cuts his hand off. But we're 900 years in the future. They could do something with some kind of biometric protection, right? I think you can do that with weapons now. There's weapons that have biolocks on them, but it's just, it's not good gameplay. That's my problem, is it's just not good gameplay. And the helmet and stuff, you know, the armor, the undersuit, it's like, really, all of this is coded for that as well? If they were going to implement a way to unlock that stuff, hack it, have the pirate gang hack it for you, by the time they added the tier 2, at least that would be in the right direction. So I could loot dude, store his shit, take back to Grimhex and say, yo, Ninetales bro, Rudo, I need you to unlock this gear for me. Right? But you know that we'll get the tier 0, the tier 1, the tier 2, and then years later, we'll finally get the ability to reestablish ownership of our loot. It will be ages from now. They won't get it done until it's done for ships, right? I mean, we're living in the land of fucking hopium now when we start talking about shit like this. That's the part that I can't even consider. Okay, we're full on both sides. Yep. All right. Let's go move a couple of boxes onto the elevator. Yeah, I just don't. I don't like it. I mean, now, if I kill somebody in tier 0, I can loot their backpack. I can loot the armor core. I can loot their magazines and their med pens. But, you know, if I need a tractor beam, not unless it's in their backpack. I want to take their combat knife, not unless it's in their backpack. It's bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshittery. Bulls do shit. Morning. I just don't know what to think about CIG when they do stuff like this. I really don't. I do wind up wondering what does ᚻᚖᚪ᚞ᚻᚢᚾᚏ really think of that idea, right? He's the guy that posted it. He's the community guy. He's never going to tell me what his opinion on it is. But ᚻᚖᚪ᚞ᚻᚢ's previously the guy that said, you know what, the best solutions for a PvP problem is a PvP solution, right? I feel like he's a pro PvP guy. I wonder about K Winter, etc. Right? People I know that indulge in PvP combat in the game in one way or another. And it's like, how do they feel? And why the change of tone from the Chris Roberts vision? I don't Don't. I ain't feeling it. I guess that's what it comes down to. Essentially, yes, if there was a PvP problem, is get good or get a friend who's good. Right? All right. Here's the thing, right? If their thought process on anything at this point is we'll sell more gear and we'll sell more ships, then we're doomed, right? If their thought process isn't it'll be better gameplay with yada yada, they're doing it wrong, and we're all kind of screwed, right? I'm totally on board with the notion of them making money. But wrecking gameplay to try and bilk customers through the store is the absolute wrong approach. Yeah, and in fairness, there are a lot of people that are really just extra aggressive in Pyro. Right? It's not always good gameplay. Sometimes it's just, oh, there's a ship, and because there's no repercussions, I can kill him. Right? But there's a lot of really engaging, immersive, emergent gameplay that happens when the rules are minimal. But you changed again. Can we please just go to the actual mission location, please? Yeah, and that's a big part of the problem with Pyro for me. Is what I was most excited about was the Gangs of Pyro reputation system. Right? I'm like, they're finally going to evolve reputation, and it'll matter. And if I'm affiliated with Gang A, then other people that are affiliated with Gang A won't immediately just come try and murder me because it would hit their reputation. So maybe we'll actually be able to work together with people that are the same rep. And then we got into the game and they start talking about this, essentially this Gangs of Pyro gang war, right? Faction war. So it should be two-sided. It should be Alliance and Horde, right? Yeah, sometimes the Hordes are going to be mean and rude to the Hordes, and Alliance the same. But most of the time, the PvP focus will be on making sure you get them Alliance motherfuckers, right? Because I'm Horde. And that's not what we get, because they put all that shit on hold because it wasn't ready for 4.0. It's not coming anytime soon. So we've got reputation for the two factions, but it isn't even remotely complete. There's nothing discouraging people from just ganking everyone they see. There's not even a way for you to know, even if you scan another player, right? Are they in the same faction as me, or are they my enemies? No, you don't know. There's no way to know. No way. Zero. Zip. Zilch. So, all of the promise for Gangs of Pyro, we'll get that soon, TM, right? Maybe sometime next year. Meanwhile, it's getting increasingly hard to be excited about anything, right? And what'll happen is we'll get oh, we're in the wrong mode. We'll get we'll get CitizenCon later this year, and they'll find a way to generate hype again and whatever, because we're all crazy. That's the thing. That really is they really do just need to give us tools for the sandbox, right? But they don't do that. I mean, I think about the racing, right? Racing. Give us markers for races. We'll create our own racetracks. People are creating their own racetracks anyway, right? Just saying this is the route. And finally, they did what? They improved racing, but did they give us tools to create our own races? No. They just created racetracks. And while I appreciate that they created racetracks, just give us the freaking tools, right? Give us a start marker, give us a finish marker, give us some gateways for route markers, and the players will do the thing. And do it much better, I might add. But that's CIG in a nutshell. It's like, we're not going to do it the right way. Well, I would hope not, because the thing is that all he'd have to do is create various and sundry things to add for us to use for the racetrack, right? Like, okay, here's the racetrack, and if you're in the race, right, here's some corner markers, say. Here's the zone for the race, and if you're in the zone, you're aggro to these turrets. So while you're trying to race through the track here, these turrets are trying to blast you. You get bonus points if you kill the turrets. There's a scoreboard, right? There's all kinds of shit that you could add for creating, all of the stuff. Waypoints and obstacles, and you don't have to create whole maps. You just create something we can place. We'll do all that. Well, I mean, they absolutely will, but they can do that with anything you can put on the ground, right? Whatever, man. The whole thing drives me nuts. The potential continues to be huge, etc., 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 but CIG keeps making stupid decisions. I don't know, man. I just don't know. All right, you know what? We're gonna head over to this convoy just to see more than anything. This is one of those where there should be multiple ships. However, this is also one of those where if you have cargo, you can probably collect some of it, which means that there could be, as one of those known mission sites, there could be players there. I just, it's all so, it's freaking painful. Warning, collision alert. We're going to crash into something. That might be left over from the ship I was hovering near. Warning, collision alert, ready. It's a little bit like pucker up. I don't know, man. We'll see. I see enough voices complaining about it that maybe CIG will realize they need to tweak this idea. But I'm surprised at some of the people that are like, all right, good deal, right? Like, I'm expecting some of them to be okay, but like Buzzcut Psycho, right? Who's a pretty hardcore PvP guy, thinks this is a good idea. And granted, I didn't watch his whole take on it, right? So maybe he thinks tier 0 is terrible and the end result will be good. I don't know, but it just sounds like all he's excited about is I don't have to worry about spending time gearing up again, right? Meanwhile, right, and he even says that unless you carry extra gear with you, right, you can't even be prepared to go again quickly, which to me is frustrating because you know what? Sometimes I do carry extra gear, right? In my MSR, there were times where I carried an extra set of gear in case I needed to recover the gear that I'm wearing. And if I had the Ursa, I would have an undersuit and a helmet and a tractor beam in the Ursa as well. So some of us were prepared. Some of us think the logistics should matter in the game. So for that crowd to be all go, 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 I don't got to worry about any of this bullshit anymore, I can just be ready to shoot people again, to me is very disappointing. Yeah, so I mean, so it used to be that if you died, you dropped the weapon that was in your hand, right? And once tier 0 hits, that won't even be a thing, because when you go down, it'll holster your weapon automatically, which is great if all you're worried about is not losing the weapon. Of course, it should just not despawn. Whatever, though, man. I really am I'm intensely disappointed with the whole thing. What is this? Oh, it's a frickin' hammerhead. Well, that wasn't what I was expecting to see. And it's got cargo. Nothing I care about, though. Shit. These aren't going to do me any good. These are big-ass ships. I can't fracture these. Show me some good cargo, at least. Nope. Nothing good at all. That's kind of disappointing. Let them cook. It's an alpha. It's an alpha. It's an alpha. It'll be fine. Just wait and see. So just the 2 ships, huh? And what fucking security here is coming to stop me from salvaging these ships? CFP? Whatever. Who cares? Man. Alright. You think I can salvage any of it if I self-destruct it? All right, this was not what I was hoping to see. I figured it would be at least a couple of small ships. I'm not going to risk doing the self-destruct thing because the truth of the matter is that I never feel like I have enough time to escape a large ship before I self-destruct it. We'll just look for another contract. This Titan Renegade is not going to be a significant amount of goods, but whatever. Where am I? That's it, right? Yeah. Well, I mean, that's been part of the problem with the game for a long time is they're not tying stuff together, even the stuff that we do have. Right? Like right now, if I go and mine up a bunch of tin, right, for the event, mine it, take it to the refinery, refine it, right? I can sell that to another player, but there's not even a trade interface, right? We have to agree, okay, well, let's go. We'll go to your hangar and I'll unload this stuff, but you got to pay me $100K first, right? Or I'll give you, pay me $50K, I'll turn up, and when I get there, I'll unload it, and you pay me the rest, right? You have to, you just have to agree with that shit and trust it. And given knowing the community, right? Where's the fucking trade interface? Where's some kind of escrow system? Right? There's nothing in place. We don't have anything. Trust me, bro. That's it. Trust me, bro. I'm legit. And even if it wasn't for the mission, right? You should be able to refine that stuff, haul it someplace that tin maybe isn't normally available, sell it to the station or post it on commission, right, at a market and say, and let everybody know, yo, you guys over there at Checkmate, if you want some tin, it's available for sale. I just delivered 4,000 SCU of it with my Hull C, right? So they can go do whatever they want to do with it. And you get paid based on how much gets bought. The rest of it just sits there until it gets sold. Do we have anything like that? No. No, we don't. We can't even sell it any place out of the ordinary if we want to for less money. We can only sell it where it's available to buy or the few places that it's available to sell. Commodities are a fucking joke in this game. So, you know, mining and salvaging isn't really hooked up to hauling at all. It isn't really hooked up to the commodities at all, right? None of it, it's all bullshit. It is all science fiction. Yeah, no. And then you watch CitizenCon from this last year, right? And at the beginning, we're talking about base building, ground vehicles and ships that can build base components. And you think, all right, I could see that maybe a couple of years, right? And then you get to the end of the convention and they're talking about what? They're talking about interlinked orbital space station platforms. That 20-year fucking pipe dream. They just can't seem to stop. It's like, take a beat for a second and actually do what needs to be done instead of making shit up for decades from now. Because there's no way orbital platforms are coming anywhere within the next 10 years. There's no way. Not given the way that they're currently adding and implementing things. It's just not possible. Yeah. Yeah. That's it right there. I've been a backer since 2014. right? So I have fallen into the trap over the years of CCU here, CCU there, melt a ship, buy a couple of smaller ships, CCU here, CCU there. So by and large, that's been my progress anytime that there was actual real money spent. And none of that has happened for years, because with the economy the way it's been and my wife's and I situation, just it's not happening, right? So everything that I've got is shuffling around store credit. However, I've been a subscriber to the game, a $20 subscriber, for most of that time since the beginning of 2015, right? So I got my gold armor 2 years ago, which, in case you don't know, is the 5K benchmark. So it's not like there hasn't been investment from me over the years. Most of it is subscription fees. But yeah, I mean, over the years I did add money. So some of it I do own. I've got a chunk in there. I won't pretend I don't, but it's been no new money from me for years now, because I just can't. I can't. I think the last thing that I spent actual money on was the 2 Pulses package War Bond, which was 40, 45. I forget what it was. A pretty good deal for the 2 of them. Beyond that, I think the only thing that I've nabbed is the odd paint, and not even the whole paint. Just I needed $3 to finish buying a paint. Yeah, but I mean, to be honest, my frustration is my passion, right? The fact that I've invested some, I won't pretend that it's not part of my bias. It is, but that investment has stemmed from my emotional and intellectual investment in the game, right? I was excited for where the technology would go. The notion of being able to fly around in the verse and explore and just do stuff, right? That's exciting to me. Them bringing it together as a cohesive whole in a game that felt like a game is what I want to see, right? Do I sometimes wish that I had only bought the $45 starter package and that's it? Yes. Am I sorry that I spent the $45? I'm not, right? Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it, Pork Fried Bryce. But, my opinion is my opinion, and it's just me as a backer. How much is in there is irrelevant to you guys for sure. Right? I love the project. I really do. I still think it could be amazing. And at times it is amazing, despite its shortcomings. But they keep dismantling little pieces or just not completing it. So we still just have, salvage is pretty decent gameplay. Mining is pretty decent gameplay, although I'm still ping and pray. I'm not a fan of. Give improved scanning, long range, please. Combat at times is good, although again we have janky, desyncy ships now, so that's bad again in its way. But none of it really goes together. Still. Yeah, that's the way to do it, Grumpy. And that's exactly what I tell people now. It's like, is this game worth it? It is absolutely worth the $45 starter package. You will definitely spend hours of enjoyment as long as you understand it's still a project in development and it is still buggy. There's more to do than ever before. It's better by and large than it was before, but still, you're going to hit bugs. If you can deal with that, you will enjoy your $45 expense, right? Don't spend tons of money on big ships. Don't do it. Give yourself a reason to earn those in game. That's kind of what I wish I had done. Yeah. Now, I do believe that Squadron 42 is going to be amazing, and that's going to build a lot of hype for the Persistent Universe. I just hope that by the time Squadron 42 launches, the Persistent Universe is ready for that added attention. Elevators do seem to be a lot better now, but I'm still running into hangar issues, right? And my top 5 issues: elevators, hangars, inventory, the navigation system, which is still terrible, and, of course, just being able to be 100% sure I can walk on the ground without falling through it, right? I do think they've done a really good job improving elevators in this most recent patch. I haven't had a failed elevator yet. I have occasionally opened the doors to avoid, and then the elevator spawns in, so they're not perfect. But I haven't had one that I've clicked on and it's just ignored me, right? Which was the problem we were getting before, is the elevator carriages were disconnecting from the doorways, and they just didn't work anymore. So hopefully that's mostly resolved. And since I think the transit system also controls the trains and shuttles, hopefully those are better too. But feel frustrated about them advertising as if it's a game really provides different play styles. If you take a close look, you realize that it all boils down to combat, and the meta as always has been the light biter. Big ships are loot pinatas, and they keep promising this will change with physicalized armor. Yeah, it's Jesus tech we wait for. Yes, yes. All of that is true. I do think that you can do gameplay without combat, right? You can do salvage, you can do mining without combat. They're not really whole loops, though. Neither's combat, but there's always the risk of combat. There's a reason that all these ships have guns on them. But absolutely true. The big ships are two things. They are loot pinatas, but they're also giant hit point pools. That's the other reason to have a big ship, right? Yeah, you can carry your crew, but it's because they're big hit point pools. Until we get Maelstrom and armor, we don't know how any of that's going to balance. And big ships currently are not in any way balanced because they don't have engineering, right? So you can solo, even if the ship doesn't have guns, right? Like people are doing bounty missions in the Polaris solo, right? And they just fly up and wait for the red NPCs to shoot at them and let the PDCs kill the ships, and then they fly away. Sometimes they'll go and they'll loot the ship into their Polaris cargo hold, so they're really looting. They're not really doing combat, but it's like, what? Come on. You're not even shooting yourself. You're letting the PDC turrets do it. That's just so... Man, I don't know whether that's better or worse than the Connie Hover turrets using 4 size 5s to blast the poor guys on the ground. I just don't know. And yeah, the navigation system is terrible. Finding your routes and all of that sometimes can be terrible. It's like, I'm going to go here. Wait, I need to go right over here. No problem. Right click. No, it wants you to go through a planet. Wait a minute. No, I can't go there. Give me an OM. Route around this planet or moon, please. And it just won't do it. You wind up having to unset a route and do it the hard way and then try again. Whatever. Rant. All right, Starfighter. Maybe we can finish filling this thing up. Yeah, it is workaround, Citizen. It is. I mean, it's constantly. I mean, you just do it habitually now, right? You know what you got to do to work around crap. And if you don't, then it's a hassle. Yeah, the workarounds are muscle memory. It's like... Come on. I'm just trying to get the extra. I can't read the number. I can't tell if it's getting bigger or smaller. The interface continues to be bad in the game too. I can see now it's plus 10%, but that number is so light, you guys probably can't even see it on stream. We only need 0.6, 0.3 SCU to fill it. That'll fill it, in theory. Although minus 4%. Yep, that's 13. We're going to clean up that one just because. All right. All right. Now, we'll take this load to checkmate, and then we got to go to Grimhex and pick up the rest of the stuff. I've said for a long time that the UIX is the worst part of the game, right? Some of it has gotten better. Aesthetically, these MFDs are a little meh for me, but these are way better than the old MFDs in general. Although there's something wrong with the target status in this ship in particular. I don't know exactly what the deal is there. But, you know, and some of it is because it's outdated. Like Elliot said yesterday, that I think it was this one. No, it was the journal. This is still Flash. So this one's still Flash. This is terrible. Right? The most relevant stuff is buried all the way at the bottom. Although I feel like this change in text color is actually, maybe that's because of the ship I'm in. I don't remember seeing multiple colors in the text. Right? Something's different. That wasn't like that yesterday, was it? Anyway, you know, so this one's still old. A lot of this user interface stuff is just bad. And of course, even the newer stuff, you get in the Saber and you quantum jump, and what do we got? What would we have right now? We'd have a big F to exit to 0G, and it would just sit there, right? Because, oh, that's a good idea. We should exit to 0G while we're quantum jumping in the middle of nowhere. That's an absolutely great idea. And it's bad UIX. Well, I miss the old component MFT that showed the health. Right? We have nothing. We have no MFD at all right now that would let me see whether my quantum drive is at 100% health or not, or even a MAV thruster, or even a gun. We used to have an MFD that would show a health percentage on all of those things. That MFD is gone. Will we get a replacement for it eventually? I sure hope so. See, I cannot see what that ship is. That's a player ship targeted, but I can't see what it is. There's something wrong with that MFD. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Death Ghost? How you doing, dude? Yep, it was the, I think it was the power MFT where we used to be able to do overclocking. That's a freaking callback at this point. You can see the health. There would be a percentage number on the right side.
An available space has been located.
Right? Well, we just don't even have that anymore. Absolutely no list of components in the current MFTs. So if I want to know what quantum drive I have, don't know. I just have to know. I can look at it once the ship's landed, or I could probably go find it in this ship, because this ship is at least physicalized. Yeah, you could even power thrusters on and off, although that became irrelevant near the end because even if they were on or off, it didn't change your freaking IFCS profile, which was also irritating. Well, I mean, and you know, I've said several times in the past, it's not a game, it's an alpha development project, but they've been calling it a live service for years now, right? And if CIG is telling me it's a live service, then it must be a game, right? Insert Padme meme here, right? I don't know, dude. We all just expect better. We really do. And I mean, you know, it's not that it's not playable. It's not that I can't enjoy my time in it. I do quite often. I know I sound extra critical at times, right? It's not difficult to get to the salty point where it's like the end of my stream yesterday. I double checked that VOD several times yesterday before I walked away from the computer, and it made no sense to me. There was just no reason that I should have crashed into that hangar, right? Add into the fact that I shouldn't have crashed into the hangar with what's supposed to happen when you die in an armistice zone, and on the hangar door is in an armistice zone in Grimhex, right? Is the gear you're wearing is supposed to be stored where you're going to respawn. Did it? No. All that gear's gone now. It's also, I am sure, not at Grimhex, although I didn't check, so let's see. Stanton, Crusader, Yellow, Grimhex. Okay, there's the RMC, there's the shields. Let's see, let's just do armor. Armor. Playable now, exactly. Yeah. So, you know, that all that gear that I wore yesterday, including a store-bought helmet, it's just gone until the next patch resets my inventory, right? And I get it all back. It's just irritating. And in those circumstances, it's like bug piled on top of bug, piled on top of bug, piled on top of bug, or when I lose my shit, right? Meanwhile, the riveting gameplay isn't really riveting, right? Because, you know, I was doing what yesterday? I was at Grimhex flying around in the Vulture, in the Yellow Belt, flying around in the Vulture, doing unverified salvage missions where I never really had any risk of security showing up, right? So why would I do the legal salvage missions? I don't know, man. Oh, God. This is the other thing, right? What did I do just now? I'm not even sure what I did exactly that made the ship. Something made the ship bounce. There you go. One SCU container. That was a one SCU container that we just bounced that multi-ton ship with. That would have made it spin and tumble if we were in 0G. Physics! That's it. Come on, do the thing. Thank you. Are you doing the thing or not, man? Come on. Why is it not? Okay, preparing to eject. You're working. Why are you not working? Come on, do the thing. I don't really understand. Maybe it's just a little latency. Oh, good job, man. Good job. Let me shoot my ship. Now, what's really frustrating to me from yesterday was, of course, this load should have been my last load in that Vulture yesterday at Grimhex with the rest of the load that I was going to bring back to Checkmate to turn in. Right, so there should be, I think, one more box in there to print. So now I got to leave Checkmate and go to Grimhex and come all the way back to Checkmate and consolidate the load wherever it is that's going to send me for the mission and turn them in. Hopefully I can get Checkmate missions. Of course, I guess it could look, huh? Priority. Small salvage. No. Small salvage to ruin. All right. All right. Well, you know what? We're going to abandon that one. And we're going to hope that in a minute it'll give me the one to go to Checkmate. And that's the mission system that annoys the shit out of me too, right? Is like I'm at Checkmate. Normally, there's a mission to turn that in at Checkmate. Why are you trying to send me halfway across the solar system? It's just like when you go grab any mission, any mercenary contract, and it wants to send you across the solar system. That's a shitty mission system. Do something local, right? Or better yet, give us a filter. right? Give us a filter for the missions so I can choose whether I want to do them in a local area or maybe I want to do them over near Ruin because I'm headed that way anyway. But instead, it focuses the missions available to you, the mercenary missions, by some arbitrary envelope. So it only shows you given missions. And if it's going to be an arbitrary envelope, it should be a local thing. And instead, it's not. And you wind up picking up a mission at Pyro 3, and it wants you to go to Pyro 1. And then you get to Pyro 1 and complete that mission. And then it wants you to go to Pyro 2 instead of doing another mission at Pyro 1. And then you get to Pyro 3, and it wants, or Pyro 2, and it wants you to go back to Pyro 1. That kind of shit is bullshit. All right. So we got 29. Really, only 29. I think that's actually going to leave me short. But I'm not sure. Maybe not. All right. I parked too close to the edge of the hangar lift here, so let's move the ship and store it. We'll go ahead and grab our Star Lancer, I guess, and go pick up that cargo. The door looks a little worn out. We got a little wear and tear going on the ship already. All right. Store you.
Welcome to the HAH vehicle retrieval system.
And I could just call the other ship, right? But I prefer to do a manual store. I feel like as long as I can get successful manual stores, I have fewer problems with the ships, in case anybody wonders why I'm not just calling up the Star Lancer.
Please visit us again. Goodbye.
Of course, the thing is, will we see the ship properly store, or will it just be buried in the ground? Because you never know. Hey, it's stored.
Welcome to the
Hurrah.
HAH vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been delivered to the following location. Please visit us again. Goodbye.
XM radio. Oh, man. It sure would be nice if VoIP worked, though, you know? People have talked about doing all kinds of crazy stuff with the VoIP channels, right? Imagine if we had not just the one global VoIP channel and the local channel and the party channel. Imagine if we could create a custom VoIP channel. People could choose to broadcast right? Create a custom VoIP channel and do Star Citizen news, right? And you'd be able to tune in the game. Like we know at whatever time during the day they do a newscast. But we can't even get reliable VoIP. Yeah, I haven't heard anybody. I can, you know what? Let's see. If I go, it's plus, right? I don't see anything that indicates that VoIP is working for me right now. Let's see. What are my connect audio channel? Connection established. How come it's not actually connecting? It's not showing the thing. All right. We'll go to local chat. My ship, right? Of course, the fortune isn't spawned anymore. It just doesn't seem to be working, right? I just don't think VoIP's working at all. This all shows muted. It just looks broken, right? It just doesn't seem to work anymore, which is so frustrating because it's an MMORPG, right? And if you're in a situation, right, just imagine you're doing a mission and you're killing the bad guys and all of a sudden you're taking fire from your flank and you look and you're like, man, is that a player? And you try and broadcast and VoIP, friendly fire, right? I'm just trying to do a mission. Let's work together. And you can't do it because VoIP doesn't work. And you're trying to type in chat. Meanwhile, they're shooting the shit out of you. VoIP should have been reliable in the game years ago, right? Because if you want people to use it, they have to have faith in it. If VoIP had been reliable 5 years ago, 8 years ago, people would use it all the time. They would use it all the time. People go on a console game, right? Go on your Xbox or your PlayStation or whatever and play a console game that has VoIP. The shit works because that's how you interact with people. You're not on the type keyboard, right? If you're playing Star Citizen, if you're deep in the combat, especially if you're flying sticks or something, you're not grabbing the keyboard anyway. You're using VoIP. So instead, what do people do? They use Discord, and Discord is fine. It works great for that. However, you can't join a random local Discord. VoIP needs to work. It was reliable at one point. It's just so irritating. What is she sending me? Oh. Yes, exactly. Let me stop battling and type you a message. Although you see it, right? You see people in chat flying their ship and they're being attacked and you'll see somebody in chat going, you know, they go, stop! You guys can't see what I'm doing because, you know, it's like somebody's shooting me. Stop it! Why you shoot me? You know? This is it. That's going to my ship channel, so nobody else is seeing it. But you know what I mean? It's like, this is what they're trying to do. And it's like, that's not going to work. That dude's not seeing that while he's blasting you, right? You used to have a local comms channel that you could hit, right? If you got close, if your ship got close to another, you could VoIP them. It's just, Star Citizen doesn't know what game it wants to be. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the only reason I don't hit F12 sometimes is I want to be helpful. I want to see what people are doing. Maybe I want to see the drama. What drama is there today? Is anybody, you know, it used to be when it was, you know, before Pyro, it'd be like, where's the hot spot? Where are people actually PvPing? I might go check and see, get into some trouble, you know? But yeah, more often than not, it's F12 chat. It's like, what the fuck are they talking about? It's the same old armchair developers or raging about how the game is a scam, or it's like, okay, yeah, I already know how bad the game is. I don't need to see your chat at 12. You know what I mean? Is JT safe? Yes, of course it is. It's always safe. Bake sale at Port Olisar. All right. We should actually check our contracts again before I leave. I should have done that before I even got in the ship. Where's the salvage one? To checkmate. All right. I don't know if I have enough. I don't think I have enough. Well, no, I might, actually. Let's slide over a little bit. Let's see if we can turn one in while we're here before we make the run. But again, it's one of those things that if CIG wanted it to be part of the culture of the community, the stuff needed to work. That it doesn't is frustrating. Okay, yeah, I don't have quite enough. I need at least 7 RMC. But how much construction material do we have? We got 31. No. What? I guess that's not going to be good enough. Okay, yeah, 31 construction material. And I've got a whole pile of stuff coming from GrimHex, so we'll head to Hex and go pick that up and bring it back, and we'll try and turn some of these in. I feel like when I was doing math yesterday, I needed 5 and 30 to have 5 missions to turn in. So I think we have enough to turn 5 missions in if we can just get the missions to cooperate once we get it all here. And I'm thinking, is there anything I should be running cargo? Let's see, where's UEX? Where's the routes thing? Starlancer. Checkmate. And GrimHex. The old GrimHex. I guess it doesn't have to be GrimHex. I could make a whole 30K if I fill up on frickin' Dynaplex. Ooh. A whole 30K. And I only have to spend How much to do that? I only have to spend 98K to do it. Although actually that's not absolutely horrible, right? It's almost 30% profit. That's not freaking terrible. It's just so small scale. Meh. It's just a distraction, right? I'm not even going to bother. I want to do it, but I just don't.
Exit protocols initiated. Please stand by. Final preparations underway.
Sure would be nice if I could see whether the hangar doors are open or not without having to do an external camera, CIG. And this hangar request completed, it should be hangar request processing, right? And then when the doors actually open, it should say completed. Maybe change the text to green, right? So that I know it's actually safe to fly out of the ship, out of the hangar, instead of crashing into something.
Thank you for visiting. Safe travels.
Is this an NPC? Or is this a player? I can't see. Awesome. We're being attacked just to be attacked, I guess. And why aren't the station turrets attacking these people? That's the part that I don't understand, right? How does that make any sense? It's too bad we don't have an actual ejection system, right? Had to be a player. No way it wasn't. No way it wasn't a player. Multiple missiles from the Firebird. And we could EVA back to the station, but it would take fucking 30 minutes. So we're just going to relog. But there was nothing to be had there. My ship's empty. I didn't even load it with the cargo that I was thinking about loading. Right? So it's just some dude being a dickhead. And CIG doing what? CIG failing to make the universe immersive, because the whole thing is the station is controlled by Rough and Ready, right? Rough and Ready should have been defending their station. And it's entirely likely that those two freaking numbskulls were freaking headhunters, right? So they should be losing faction for attacking my ship, but the faction system isn't in play. Whatever. I mean, you know, it is what it is. It's Pyro. They can fire and do their thing, and that's fine. But empty gameplay. Empty. 100% empty fucking gameplay. Empty. Empty gameplay. This is the game that CIG is creating. It's fatiguing, man. It just is. It's so fatiguing. I mean, if these guys were going to engage a combat ship, good on them. right? But we're going to attack an empty transport ship. Empty. Mind you, these guys could have hung out and waited, and I would have been back in 20 minutes, 30 minutes, loaded with construction material and RMC. Great. Of course, they put me right back in space. Fantastic. Right? But did they do that? No, they popped an empty ship because they're fucking numbskulls. Right? Well, obviously, I have to region hop. Too tired to even be bothered to be bothered, I guess. It's just, that's the game. That's the game we've got. Empty, lame nonsense rather than any actual engagement. And mind you, of course, the Hornet shooting at the ship would have been doing damage, right? But it wouldn't have been the ship that would have been a threat for me quantuming away. It was the Firebird cheesing six missiles at a time at the hauler just to explode it, right? That's the ship, that's the hazard. I can't wait for quantum boost so that at least I can continue to boost away without losing my countermeasures, because that was a masterful stroke for master modes, by the way. Good job, CIG. Absolutely fantastic job. Gimple McGee, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Empty gameplay. That's Star Citizen. Let's engage in some empty gameplay. Let's explode an empty cargo hauler, because, you know, we're going to get something out of that. And we don't have the balls to actually attack a combat ship, so we're going to pick that big fat target that's got nothing in it. Because we're badasses like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a badass. No, well, CIG doesn't know how to balance gameplay. That's it. They don't know how to balance gameplay. Master Modes was designed to slow down the combat with PvE enemies so that potato pilots could actually kill them. That's what Master Modes was designed to do. Whatever, dudes. I am so glad that you feel like you're the bomb.
Thank you.
All right. Part of me's like, you know, then we just spawn the Polaris and fly away in it, because we just ignore the light fighters then, right? All right, let me refill my coffee cup. I'll be right back. What more do you need than to look at the feedback threads on Spectrum regarding it? Anything? Well, no, because the people that are complaining most about master modes are the combat pilots. Right, the people that felt like they had the edge. It's all dogfighting centric. All of it is, right? Unless you're talking about the people who get blown up like I just did, right? Those are the other ones that complain because they really had no recourse. Because that Firebird was going to drop too many missiles. I wasn't going to be able to jump away. If I navigate out and am paying a little more attention, maybe I could have escaped that. But since there were two of them, It was a pretty bad sign right at the outset. Master modes but master modes isn't the problem, of course. It's the ship tuning. But that and CIG can failing to implement the other systems that need to be in place to actually make combat meaningful. Maelstrom and armor, when, like I've been saying, the whole combat balance thing with CIG, it's like a square table with only 3 legs, right? You got 3 legs on this thing. So what do? Is you go to that one corner leg and you pile everything on top of there and you hope the table doesn't fall over, right? That's combat balance with CIG right now. Because why? Because the 4th leg has been missing for 10 fucking years, right? 10 years they've been talking about armor. 10 fucking years, and we still don't have anything like armor. Right now we're waiting on a new system. We need Maelstrom. We need Maelstrom to be in place. Once Maelstrom's in place, we can have armor. And then we can what? Then we can rebalance the whole fucking table again, right? Not to mention what we really need is all of engineering as well to help balance large ships versus small ships. And we don't have that either because they pushed it back because it wasn't ready for 4.0. Right? So then we're back to having the same old copium conversation, right? When X gets added, then they can add Y, and finally Z will in place, and the game will be all good. Right? That's where every conversation with Star Citizen goes. Every single conversation. Coffee. I'll be right back, Cal. Sure, Bob. All right, we has returned.
Welcome to the HAH vehicle retrieval system.
How much longer we got on the Star Lancer? Retrievable. All right. You know what? I want to go back to US. Probably we'll wind up on the same server again, whatever. We'll make sure that we're more prepared to leave the hangar this time. Part of the problem is what? Is initially you're blind, right? Because you're not actually in the verse until you leave the gateway. So you cannot even radar detect anything outside the hangar while you're in the hangar. Right? Part of the problem is the station defenses don't do anything. They just don't. And I believe that was a fix that CIG put in place so that you didn't get attacked by the station accidentally, because that was a problem for a while where in 4.0 release where the station would attack you because you were just default hostile. But the gangs are supposed to protect their local space, right? They don't want a bunch of extra bullshit at the station while they're trying to have stuff that they want delivered. So it would be nice if the station defenses worked against people that were aggro, like they do at Grimhex. The Grimhex turrets, if you fly into Grimhex and you aggress, you're red to the turrets will shoot at you. So it should work here. But I should also be more aware leaving the hangar, and we will be today. You know, unless I start running my mouth again, in which case we'll probably just get blown up again. That is the nature of the beast. Look, he's not wearing a white suit. He's got the stone skin. He's styling and profiling. Meanwhile, you know, Mr. Heavy Armor there is just going to run everybody over. All right. Of course, I went the wrong way, because that's what I do. There was somebody in the hangar, and then there wasn't. Like, can the hangar work, please? Elevator work, please? I guess the answer is no. No, the elevator can't work. Let's try this again. Go ahead, close door. We're gonna work this time. All the weirdness. Good old Star Citizen being Star Citizen. You know what? I was looking for this box. I actually forgot it was there. I knew I had other supplies here somewhere, and I left them in the box in the hangar for easy access.
Welcome to the HAH vehicle retrieval system.
All right, Star Lancer. Let's try it again.
Please visit us again.
Oh my goodness. We definitely got a headache coming on. The ibuprofen. Little dose of grunt candy. What you doing, Loki? Let us hydrate. Cruise Lux is people. All right, got our helmet back on. Let's do the thing. You can really see the difference with the sharpness. At least I can. It's not just the contrast, right? It's the sharp edges. It gives it more sense of presence to me. I hope that when we get the illumination refactor, the global illumination refactor, because here we are talking about copium and hopium again. When they patch in such and such, everything will be better. Everything will be better then. All right, here we go again. Okay.
Exit protocols initiated. Please stand by. Final preparations underway. Thank you for visiting. Safe travels.
Away we go. And if I had just been better prepared last time, that would have gone the same way. But I was meandering, was running my mouth, not really paying attention. Mostly on me, although I still think it's nonsense that the stations just don't do a damn thing. And I think that's because the Gangs of Pyro reputation system is essentially non-existent because they put it on hold because it wasn't ready for 4.0. So are we really in 4.0 or are we really in 4.02? Because I kind of feel like we're actually in 3.92, right? Because the shit that they wanted to deliver for 4.0 has been on hold. We don't really have a full implementation of Pyro. Of course, we don't really have a full implementation of anything when it comes to Star Citizen, right? It's all T0, T1. Whatever, man. That's it. That's all we can do is play the game that's in front of us, right? Maybe hope and pray it someday gets better. You know, before CIG ruins it completely. Are we there yet? We're almost there. Can we steer, please? Thank you. We're being paranoid now. Just making a pit stop. Stick 'em up. Give me $1 million. See, here's some abandoned ships at the gateway, right? That Constellation we could have scrapped, at least. gonna bounce off the wormhole. I feel like the small envelope here where we can actually calibrate and open the wormhole and make the jump might be just a little bit too slim. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, you can, as long as nobody else comes along to give you a hard time. For me, I think salvage ships are those you should leave alone, right? Let them clean up the berths. It's good for the game. But given the nature of the missions that are running right now, the priority missions, there are probably salvage ships being attacked and pirated so that people can get their RMC and their construction material. All right, what do you think are the odds that we can actually traverse the wormhole and exit in Stanton? That's the next question, right? I don't know where the swirly is anymore. It's gone. I'm feeling we're about to exit in Pyro. No, maybe not. I can't tell. Where the hell are we? No, we are actually in Stanton. Good deal. It's Hurston. Where is Crusader? You would think that Pyro would have easier salvage to find. You would think. You know, I'm actually really not happy with the salvage missions. Granted, I've not repped into them very far. I don't know exactly how the reputation works for that stuff. But it's like, you know, you're finding one-offs. You're finding large ships only. It's not a good distribution of stuff, man. You will crash somewheres outside of your destination. Usually it's within 150 kilometers, although I was lurking the Dark Law earlier, right? Early before I started streaming today. And he entered the wormhole in Pyro, right here at Stanton Gateway. And something happened and his ship powered down and he crashed into the wall, you know, bumped against the wall and got ejected. And he ejected out somewhere's like out here, right? So it was further away than any of the points in Pyro. So I guess sometimes it can be quite a ways away because he had a 7-minute quantum jump to go back to the Stanton Gateway. So it can be more than the 150 kilometers. I just don't feel like it usually is. It's usually within 150 kilometers, which is far enough away that you're, you know, out of visible range of the gateway, but That would be a good way to do stuff, right? Like one of the things that I've been thinking about doing is carrying a salvage ship in my what the hell you call it? My ironclad, right? I think that would be cool to do, be able to do that kind of thing. But, you know, it all depends on how things actually pan out. I shouldn't have jumped all the way to Crusader. That was a bad habit. We'd have been able to go straight to yellow if I had plotted that a little bit better. Alright, where are you at, Grimhex? You hiding on the other side? No, that's the comm array. Where is Grimhex? Oh, that's the Crusader comm array. There we go. There's Grimhex. Grimholm. What you doing over there, ⚻ᚖᚪ᚞ᚻᚢᚾ? Why are you all red? And how come you're not taking fire from the station turrets after I just talked about Grimhex turrets? Big giant reclaimer. I don't know what the hell is going on here in Grimhex. Something crazy, though. There's definitely some weird shit happening. All right, let's see if we can turn her around. Load up the cargo. You didn't actually do the thing. There we go. Okie dokie. I don't actually think I'm going to need the side cargo, but I don't remember exactly how many of what I've got. Okay, commodity containers. So we got 71. We should be able to put it all in the back then. Okay. Okay. So where's the RMC? It's going to be somewhere in the middle, right? What the hell was that? Weird freeze, man. Oh, okay. That was construction materials. All right. So must just be like maybe the last row or two of the RMC. I want to separate it because I want to unload it in a way that makes sense rather than just throwing it all on the elevator. Since it's 7 and 14, you know, I want to be able to unload 7 RMC and 14 construction materials. I guess I could have moved all this into 8 SCU containers or whatever. Made it a little bit less troublesome. I had actually thought about doing it yesterday after Shadow Wolf was talking about it, but we're already in it doing it now. And I actually don't know what size boxes you can even buy at Grimhex. I still think we need a flatbed truck. Like I said, it should carry at least 16, if not 24. 32. Could have a couple of different size trucks. There's an opportunity for you to sell more vehicles, CIG. It could even be a hangar add-on, right? Instead of actually being a vehicle, just imagine if you could buy the hanger rod on in-game, preferably, but in the store, where when you spawn stuff on the, when you spawn commodities, or whatever even, in the freight elevator, you could choose that it's spawned on a little flatbed truck that you then drive over to the ship. Hell, you could even carry it onto the ship and then carry it off, I guess, if you wanted to, but said it would just be so much better than this nonsense. So let's park the ship cockeyed close to the thing, blah, 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 blah. This long distance tractor beaming crap is actually really irritating to me. And you know, I could be wrong, but I don't think this ship even has a tractor beam, does it? We don't get a tractor beam with the Star Lancer. At least I don't think so. All right, yeah, I see no tractor beam turret thing. Why not? Why we get gypped like that? Cargo drones would be cool. I was watching a clip of the old Cryastro station the other day. Right? Star Citizen Cryastro. Yeah. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me do that over here in the other window. Where are you? All right, this was back in the day.
Landing mode engaged. Landing request approved. Automated landing initiated.
Now these wound up being a PvP hotspot because, of course, people knew folks would be stopping. But watch this shit.
AP activated. Landing gear deployed. Landing complete.
Starting repairs now.
Here we go. What is this? Repair drones? Madness. Star Citizen doesn't have drones.
Let's get you filled up.
I mean, you know, where's this stuff? It's gone now. Like so much other Star Citizen content that no longer exists. It's kind of disappointing. Oh my God. Let's not talk about the potential of any Star Citizen 2, man. That's it. We had less in the game overall, but it did used to feel more complete, more immersive, more engaging. Yep. And that's exactly it too, right? They're like, oh, no, we got to do it this way instead. So, you know, we're going to rebuild that eventually soon, TM. And then we never did because we changed our mind about whatever. And now repairs continue to just be magical repairs. We don't see any kind of a feedback, even though there's a repair drone station in the hangar, right? That's probably it over there. Right? It might be this over here. But there are repair drone stations in several of the hangars. You know, I can't see one from here, but that might be it there. It's just we, wave a magic wand and stuff is magically fixed. Yeah, they could even force you to store the ship to repair it. Why they opted not to do that actually is a little bit weird to me. For some reason I can't grab this box. It's because of the corner. Whatever, man. It's fucking garbage. There's a lot of ways that they could have done it better, and instead they did nothing. And just, I don't know what they're doing. I really don't, because there's all this half-done stuff that's been half done for a decade now. I mean, everything in the game is still placeholder or incomplete, right? Which in some ways is the nature of the beast, and in other ways is totally unacceptable. Yes, I mean, it's okay to gamify stuff. Really? Thank you. Please just give me the box. It is a game, after all. And the days of it being the best damn space sim ever are long gone, right? It's definitely the best damn space sim inspired game ever. Whatever letters that is. And we're always perpetually waiting. I mean, it's waiting, citizen. We're always waiting. We're waiting for this to be complete. We're waiting for that to be complete. It's kind of disenchanting, disheartening, and disenchanting. All right, it's just, dude, come on. But, we're 2 months into 2025, the year of playability and reliability, and maybe we've gotten elevators fixed, right? So if we can stay on that tack, then maybe they'll get my top 5 nailed down before the end of the year. It's going to break my heart when I finally go to use the elevator and it behaves just like it did in 401, though, and nothing happens. It's definitely going to break my heart. It's going to kill my soul at least a little bit. Come on. Come on, man. This shit annoys the crap out of me. Right? We have no problem taking boxes, and then all of a sudden we do. Because the tractor beams are garbage. They're so bad. So bad. Sticky corners. Sticky corners. That one's construction materials. I'm actually confused now. What was this? RMC, RMC. Okay, so I didn't screw it up. Construction materials. It's tractor beam gameplay. I hear that they are increasing the sale price on all the commodities for the event, by the way. So whoever was able to get it done in the first couple of days, they made all the monies. Anybody that's trying to do it afterwards, they get fucked by relationship, which is great. Good job, CIG. And it's not a small amount either. Like, they bumped it quite a bit. Right? I think even the dedicating cost changed. Although, to be honest, I don't know whether they changed it more or less. I saw something about 50%. But here we are, you know, you're a couple of days into a month-long event and you start changing the commodity prices and values. It's like, dudes, that's terrible. Yeah, they should have limited the amount that people could buy individually, right? It's like, you know, there's a short supply. It's like rationing. You're allowed to buy 200 or 350. It was 334 for the large mission, right? 334 of each. So you're allowed to buy 350 of each, period. Right? Per what? Per hour or something significant, so people just wouldn't sit there and fill up. Yeah, whatever it was, that would have been the way to do it. And instead of just letting people go ham, because like I said, what was happening is people with Hull C's were filling up 4,644 SCUs or 4,662, however much it is, 4,600 SCUs, and buying all the stock. So then all the people that just needed 13 and 13 or whatever were not able to get it. It's bullshit. It's typical CIG. Allow punching in armistice. It's just so typical of them. It really is, for them to just not get it because they don't play the game. That's the problem. The decision makers don't play the game. And if they do play, they're playing on their internal test servers where there's no competition anyway, or at the very least, there's no sense of how things actually work in live. Yeah, well, I do kind of miss the old days of boxing in GrimX. We're going to need that space for the RMC, so we'll just pull these over here. Because physics. Goodness. Everything bounces around like an empty box. What in the fuck? Man? What the shit? Please, just do the thing. And... Bro. Look at this crap. CIG, you guys are... You're just bad at this. Realistic 1-ton boxes, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, tractor beams is why we don't have forklifts. And the whole reason that we don't have forklifts is because there's no precision. No precision at all in the game, right? So we can't have that. There's no way we'd ever be able to drive up and slot a pallet in this game. All we get is tractor beams because there's massive cushion, right? I can do this, you know, 30 meters away, but I definitely can't just grab a box. Some of it probably would be far better as point and click. Absolutely. Totally agree. All right, let's see. Am I creating a nightmare situation here? No. All right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like they could have done it. They could have found a way to do it. It's just, you know, nothing is quite where it's supposed to be, right? That's the thing, right? Yeah, well, armistice zones are one of those things that should go away for sure. Yep, that's exactly, and that's the way it's been handled traditionally. I mean, I remember Ultima Online, right? You didn't kill people in town because what? Because if you did, the guards were coming for your ass. And that was no joke, right? The guards coming for your ass was no joke. Well, we should just be able to do the thing. Quit worrying about it there, dude. I just want to make sure I don't run into a situation where I can't add the boxes. Come on. All right. Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly what they do now, right? It's why you see the rovers and the storms doing this on the ground or in a ship, because there's no proper physics interchange, right? This is essentially their workaround. Physics don't really work, so what we do is we attach the box to the ship. That's what these are. These are attachment points. This is just like mounting a gun to a ship or a missile rack to a ship. It's the same thing, to be honest, this is the only realistic solution. This is the way it should work. When you park a vehicle in a garage spot, it should attach the vehicle to the ship so they stop bouncing. Because I just don't believe CIG is ever going to be able to model physics, because we sure don't have it now. I mean, it's just like the ground vehicles they're too top heavy. Because rather than the center of gravity being down low in the chassis where it should be, because that's the way you build vehicles so they don't roll over, right? It's actually in the middle of the physics model, the collision model, right? It doesn't make any sense. So that's why they're so easy to tip over. Yes, exactly. It's definitely something that can be done. I mean, like I said, we see it in Star Citizen now. That's exactly what we're doing right now. We've got this physical body and we're attaching it to the ship. They could have done the same thing with a forklift. You just drive up to it, interact with it, with whatever. You could even use the tractor beam to grab it, right? And then it actually physically grabs it. And then it's attached to the vehicle. No problem. But instead, we get all the jank with Star Citizen. Admittedly, it's better than it used to be. I don't know if y'all remember, there was one time I decided to try and do ground missions, the slow transport missions with the stuff that you couldn't quantum drive in an Ursa rover, going from outpost to outpost in the rover, and the 1SCU boxes, they're not even 1SCU boxes. They were the hand carryable boxes that kept just falling out of the rover, like just falling through the walls. It was terrible. Yeah, and I mean, you know, I think that the auto load thing will actually come back, right? They just don't want stuff magically appearing. It works in the whole sea, though, because there's no choice. Who knows? They don't really know what they're doing. All right. I didn't think I needed the lifts, and I didn't. All right, now we do the thing. Really? All right. Open the door. Request our destination. Dude. Can you? Oh my God, whatever, man. Just whatever. I can't type. Obstructed, of course. Jesus, CIG. Your navigation system is absolutely trash. Absolutely trash. It's obstructed. Oh, hey, here's the thought. Go around the obstruction. Why is that ship red at the station? I mean, it's not crime stat. Obviously, it's Grimhex. So why isn't he being demolished by the turrets if he's red aggressor? I don't understand what I'm seeing there, CIG. You've changed the way that shit works again. They probably did the same thing with Grimhex that they did to the pyro stations, right? Yeah, there are definitely ways that they could work around that stuff. But I mean, you know, just throttling it was the way to go, right? Just don't let everybody buy all of it. It's knuckleheaded. And part of the problem is that there's no connection to the stuff again. What they really needed to do was, of course, if they wanted it, even if they just wanted it to be at Magnus Gateway, right? Which doesn't make sense to me. But prospectors, miners, should be able to mine the tin, refine it, and turn it into the station that they want to turn it into, right? And since demand is high, they should be able to sell it at a high value, right? And then if they wanted to, they could announce to their friends, yo, I just unloaded a whole crap ton of refined tin over at whatever, before it goes out on the broadband and lets everybody know, look, there's supply there. But we don't have any of that. We don't have anything because there's no dynamic supply anywhere. There's no integration between the refineries and selling commodities and commodities being available for sale anywhere. Nothing. It's a bunch of disparate pieces that are not related. Elusive quanta. That's it. Because, you know, someday we'll have Tony Z's love child, right? And quanta will exist, and everything will just work. And that will be the Jesus patch. Then the game will just be miraculous. Coming soon. TM. Playable now. Buy a ship. If you already have a ship, upgrade. Don't forget to buy your Squadron 42 package, because it's coming soon in 2026. Yeah, just add some sine wave prices. Fuck it. Right. Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. Some simple simulation for now. Just put something in. Can we steer, please? And thank you. Yeah, well, anything would be better than the current. All right, literally anything. Why is all the weird lightning shit over top instead of at the wormhole? That looks weird to me. I don't know what we're supposed to be seeing there. There's some kind of lotting going on as well, but why is it over the wormhole instead of on the wormhole? Weird shit. I guess it's under the wormhole, technically. Games galore. I guess it's actually games. Games galore. That makes more sense than Gamez. Big Nick Dixer. Oh my goodness. Now the question is, do I really want to go through the wormhole with all of this shit going on next to and near me? Probably not. Definitely a lot of ships here that look abandoned. Stanton Gateway might be the place to go for salvaging the abandoned ships. Not just abandoned, I see some broken ones too. And see, you know, the fact that I can't plot a route out of the wormhole, right? That's the part that really pisses me off. Being essentially blind stopped as we come out really aggravates me. You know what we're going to do though? We're going to go most of the way and then we're going to just drag our ass and see where we wind up when we come out. All right, I feel like we should be in Pyro. Let's see if we can get kicked. Worked like a charm. I don't know how far away we are from the wormhole station. Where is the gateway? It feels like we're far enough away that I don't even see the indicator for the wormhole. Where is it? Oh, hell yeah. We kicked way the hell out. So 70 gigameters. We're 70 gigameters away from the station. That worked great. That worked fantastic. All right, let's see. What we need to know is where's the mission? Wherever it wants to send me is where we're going to go to turn it in. Priority. Oh, shit, because the rest of the stuff is at checkmate, right? We still have some there at checkmate. Salvage. You want me to go to ruin? You know what? We'll accept it. And then we'll abandon it. And we'll wait and see if we can get a checkmate one. All right. You know, until they actually make it detrimental, I may never clean exit the wormhole ever again. We'll have to go do some mining for tin and ice. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Bust out the prospector and see how that is these days. Perfect. Perfect. I am curious about the pay on the hauling missions now. I wonder, of course, I wonder if it's on UEX. Has UEX got it listed? If we go commodities, where's copper? What's the actual price? Copper. 13,000 UEC per unit for copper and corundum now, instead of 342. So yeah, they bumped the price a little bit on those commodities. 13,347 over 342. Right, so this is how they're trying to tone it down. Is it makes it really expensive, which is not a bad thing if you're trying to mine for it, right? They said that's what they were trying to do, was equalize the return for the miners. Versus the haulers.
welcome.
All right. That'll work. Okie dokie. What are you crazy animals doing? All right, let's see here. We've got 6 RMCs. And then we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of those. We'll send those up. We'll need 1 more RMC to go with that to turn in. I don't think, let me look and see what the medium one is. I don't think I have enough to turn in a medium. I feel like it was quite a bit more, right? Salvage medium. 56 and 105? Shit. Will I have enough? I don't know that I will. We've got 7 there now, right? So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is 64. 65. I don't know, man. It would be really close. We might have enough to turn in 1 medium. Where's the turn in? Is it turned in here? Checkmate. All right, we'll try it. It would pay more UEC to turn in the large. All right, so let's track the medium rather, not large. Abandon the small. And let's get all this onto the thing, and we'll turn it in and grab what's left in the elevator as well. Oh, me and them boxes are just going to disagree. Oh my goodness. See, this is the problem that I have with the fucking tractor beams, man. It's constantly with grabbing the wrong shit. Constantly. It's all the damn time. And then we got what? We got sticky shit because corners? Come on. Just give me the box. Oh, Ginger says it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. And this happened to pull them off to change tractor beam modes sucks too. That shit's terrible. Just let me frickin' go to the magnetic mode straight off the grid, please. I don't understand this nonsense. Oh, Jesus, it's so bad. All right, you know what? I just can't even. We're going to park you for a minute. We're going to pull all the boxes off the damn grid with the frickin' max lift. Because I can't be bothered with the stupid shit. Really? So this is the way to do it, right? This is the immersive gameplay. Rather than just having tools that work well, it's work around Citizen again. All right, who cares if what we're doing looks ridiculous? All right, this is UPS in a nutshell anyway. And we want them all off the grid so that the max lift will just grab them and zip them where we want them to go. Because even though I like the control that the, not the max lift, that the Atlas gives when you pull stuff off the grid, with 100 small boxes, it's a pain in the ass. It is the way for me with the large boxes, though. So, you know, just check. Because who cares? Who cares about the immersion anyway? We just want to get it done. You know what would actually resolve this particular issue for me altogether would just be to turn off the maglock, right? We could just turn it off, except you know what would happen is if all of a sudden these boxes were all no longer attached to the ship, is shit would explode. Like literally. Like we saw happen with the Argo raft. With the concussive interaction between boxes. Blowing engines off the ship. It's exactly what would happen. All right. Let's see. Can we get a better angle so we're not having to go back and forth the whole time? And how come the hangar doesn't have a tractor beam? Really? This is stupid. How come I can't move that further? What is this? This is terrible. Is this a container thing? What the hell, CIG? Yeah, there's something in the way. It won't let me, it's gotta be a container thing, right? What the fuck, man? Yeah, it's gotta be. It's gotta be some kind of container thing. Because I can't, yeah. Alright, whatever. It's probably the same container thing we usually run into. I didn't even see that one move. Physics interaction, great. That one's it's in the other container. I pulled a box out of the pack and it kicked that other one all the way across the hangar. We could figure out how to weaponize that. Talking about that point and click thing, right? Wouldn't it be great to be able to grab the box and just click it there without it being traveling the whole way, sweeping all over the place? Honestly, this whole thing where the vehicle turns every single time is way extra clunky, right? Because if I could get the precision to behave better with the head tracking, I could do it that way. Right, and that would be a lot less funky seeming. But I'd probably want to set up a different set of curves. Put the head tracking, put the tractor beam. Of course, the struts and the thing are right in the way, right? But it's one extreme or the other. Because the corner struts are actually in a really awful place. But it's really cool, right? Because it looks like Ripley's fork loader. Except the fork loader ends up killing her, yeah. Well, that makes it even more like the fork loader, though, right? I could probably in-cap myself in this thing in just a matter of minutes if I wanted to. Or is that what you mean? Come on, grab the box. Yeah, okay. What happened to that box? Frickin' Star Citizen, man. All right, there it is. Okay, that should be the last one, I think, right? We're looking for random stray boxes. I don't see any. Ripley and Global Chat. Stim me, you bitch. Oh, man. All right, let's see what we got to turn in here. I feel like I'm going to be shy a couple of boxes or something, but whatever. So 31 of 56 RCM. RMC, rather. I thought I had more than 31 RMC. That doesn't seem right. I had enough to turn in 5 missions. Well, that would only be 35. So maybe. All right, what about the construction materials? We have 54. I do have more construction materials here, but we're going to need to do another load or two of salvage. Crap. And really, I'm setting myself up for failure here because it's going to have accepted what I had as a partial turn-in. Okay, I don't have any more RMC, right? I do? Did I not load that to the... Why can't I select all? Why is it... Hello? Bro. Oh my goodness, what is happening? This piece of shit game, dude. All right. Whatever, man. Okay, so we need 34 and 24. 25. 34 and 25. Okay, so we need to run some more salvage. We should be able to...
Welcome to the HAH vehicle retrieval.
store the ship with no issues.
Your vehicle has been moved to authority authority. Please visit.
I should have just turned in the small ones so that they were turned in and done, because what I've done now is created a situation where if I have to log out, my mission won't be complete because it'll lose the partial, because you can't turn in a partial. Unfortunately, I don't know why they didn't set these up like the regular hauling contracts, right? Because the regular hauling contracts, I'd be able to submit it and take the partial payment, right? So I don't really know why they haven't set it up that way. It's kind of irritating.
Welcome to the HAH vehicle retrieval system.
All right, we were able to get like 40 in the Vulture, weren't we? I think we're just going to take the Fortune, though, because it's just quicker. Everything about it is quicker.
Your vehicle. Please visit us again.
Where's the black and Dayglow green, the neon green armor sets, by the way?
Exit protocols initiated. Please stand
Oh,
by.
goody.
Final
We
preparation.
get Wait Citizen. We get Wait Citizen. Kill and salvage a retaliator. Whatever, man. Let me out. And we're not spooling why. CAG, the answer is because you guys are just not good at your job, right? Why do I not have a destination for that fucking mission? Oh, I see, because we're still spooled for the station we already arrived at. Of course. Navigation system is so good. It's so good. Whatever. $35. I could have sworn that I had enough. I could have sworn I actually had 31 RMC before we left Grimhex. And there was already 6 at Checkmate. Because I thought I had enough to turn in 5 missions yesterday. But all right, pay attention, bro. Let's not crash into the ships. Well, you know what I didn't do? I didn't push the buttons. Of course,